A Northwest Florida veteran injured in Operation Epic Fury while saving a teammate.
We were going to both make it there, or we weren't going to make it there at all. Like, it didn't matter. I wasn't going to leave him.
What he went through and the celebration to welcome him home. The legislative session has officially ended, and some lawmakers are disappointed in the lack of work accomplished.
It is an abomination that we couldn't get things done for the people of Florida this session.
We break down the numbers and see where Congress goes next. And one commissioner is going against the grain.
I think that the devil is always in the details. I often say that I was elected not to be an expert in every issue, but for my judgment.
Why she says saying no helps her do what's best for the community.
This is your Fox 49 News at 10.
Good evening. A hometown hero critically injured in Operation Epic Fury in Iran is now back home in Florida. Hunter Gerdner is a former military member. He was in Iran working as a defense contractor. Tonight, he's recovering from injuries suffered when he was hit by enemy fire. Fox 49's Haley Sample sat down with Gerdner, who just arrived back in town after recovering at Walter Reed Hospital in Maryland.
Hunter Gerdner is a Northwest Florida native and a 27-year-old medically retired military veteran.
I knew what I was going to do since I was roughly 10 years old. It's the only thing I was ever drawn to.
Gerdner joined the Army in 2018. He was reclassified as medically retired in 2024 after multiple injuries. Now, Gerdner calls El Paso, Texas home. That's where he runs a team of engineers for an air defense system, working hand in hand with the Army.
What that entails is making sure it's good to go at all times, being ready to deploy, answer the call whenever is necessary.
He got the call to join U.S. Operation Epic Fury.
Without any questions, me and my team, we packed up, we went out there, and we started performing our job as we're supposed to do, trying to protect as many lives as we possibly can.
John, Stephen, Andy, and Mike make up the crew. Gerdner was the team lead when the crew came under attack. There were nonstop alerts for 12 hours from incoming drones, TBMs, and cruise missiles. For security reasons, Gerdner could not tell us where he was based or exactly when the attack occurred. Towards nightfall, their duty took a turn.
I knew we were in a bad spot. That's when we started our movement to try to go to a bunker, so we started running.
Gerdner not too far from safety when he noticed his teammate John fell behind.
We were going to both make it there, or we weren't going to make it there at all. Like, it didn't matter. I wasn't going to leave him.
And at that same moment Gerdner turned to save his crewmate, a drone struck nearby. Strayed shrapnel striking Gerdner.
I just feel like my inside just got ripped apart. Like somebody just grabbed my rib cage and flayed me open. And that's the sheer amount of pressure that felt like hit me.
He says moments later he regained consciousness, his limbs still intact. When he reaches for his abdomen,
I feel something's very, very wrong. Pull my hand out, it's just a bunch of blood. And then I feel some stuff hanging out of my stomach. So I just grab it, I throw it back in, I take 3 fingers, I plug the hole to make sure it doesn't come out again, and I just start walking as much as I could. Like, I can't breathe.
Survival instincts carried Gerdner to the bunker where he collapsed. He was then moved to a field hospital and other facilities. After several blood transfusions, there were surgeries to remove a kidney, reconstruct his spleen, and repair his liver. He has permanent shrapnel in his abdomen and 34 staples in his stomach. But Gerdner says all 5 members of the crew survived the attack. His colleague John sustained a shoulder injury.
And I'm glad I'm the one that had it the worst, because I would not want them to go through any of it.
Gerdner was later transported to Walter Reed Hospital in Maryland. He spent 11 days in the ICU before reuniting with his mom and brother in the D.C. area.
I know it was very difficult for them, because there was hours in between when they could hear anything back. So I know it's just, I couldn't imagine going through it on the other end. Just the sheer anxiety, not knowing if I was alive or dead.
That anxiety turning to celebration to see Gerdner back in the States. His sister decorating her cantonment home in welcome signs as he starts his recovery back in his childhood home.
I feel nothing but love from the community, from the Pensacola community, cantonment community especially. It's been overwhelming, to say the least.
Gerdner is still processing the attack as his body and mind heal. All things considered, he says there's not a single thing he would do differently.
What's my life compared to saving thousands? There's no justifying it. I would do it again every single day.
Haley Samples, your Fox 49 News.
Gardner says right now he's focused on his recovery both physically and mentally. Down the line, he hopes to pursue a master's in software engineering, and he plans to use that degree to continue serving the country in any capacity he can. The regular session of the Florida legislature ended today, with some observers saying almost nothing of any substance got done. Lawmakers in Tallahassee filed thousands of bills this session, but only a small share actually made it through the legislative process. Fox 49's Nick Carmia breaks down what the numbers show about what got done and what didn't.
With nearly 2,000 bills filed this session, only a small fraction made it out of both chambers of the Florida legislature. The numbers tell the story. Lawmakers filed 1,897 bills this session, but only 201 made it through both chambers. Just over 1 out of every 10 proposals. Of the bills that did pass, 104 started in the House and 97 in the Senate, showing how few proposals actually survived the legislative process. But the results weren't evenly distributed. Out of 160 lawmakers in the Florida legislature, about half didn't pass a single bill of their own. That's roughly 85 members who saw their proposals stall before final passage. That includes some first-time lawmakers like Republican Erica Booth. Booth filed several bills this session dealing with healthcare, education, and public safety, but none cleared both chambers before deadlines hit. She says the numbers don't tell the whole story.
It's not about the math and the numbers. It's about the quality of what we're putting through.
But experienced hands call this session a disappointment.
I certainly don't expect any of us to be covered in glory.
And the data shows a clear partisan divide. Majority party lawmakers were more than twice as likely to pass legislation as the minority. House Democratic leader Fentress Driscoll says that left many priorities unfinished.
It is an abomination that we couldn't get things done for the people of Florida this session.
Now, with no state budget in place, lawmakers are expected to extend the session, while hundreds of bills that never reach the governor's desk will have to wait until next year to be reconsidered. In Tallahassee, Nick Carmia, your Fox 49 News.
State law requires Florida to pass a balanced budget by July 1st, and until that happens, lawmakers will have to return to Tallahassee for an extended or special session. 2 high-profile votes this week cast one Tallahassee City Commissioner as a community watchdog. Commissioner Jack Porter was one of the 2 no votes on the proposed transfer of Tallahassee Memorial Hospital to Florida State University, and she was the only no vote against the new police union contract. Fox 49's Jayla Howard spoke with Commissioner Porter to learn about the critical eye she says she casts on every city issue.
Commissioner Jack Porter told me the devil is always in the details. Her admission comes as she explained her no votes come from a place of wanting not only what's good for the community, but what's best for the community.
One of those votes involved the transfer of TMH Hospital to FSU. Porter says her concern wasn't with the idea itself, but the lack of finalized agreements behind it.
The commitment that we made to the community was that we would not move forward until we had all of that information.
Another no vote came during discussions over the city's police union contract. Porter says her decision had nothing to do with being against increased officer salaries. In fact, she says she supports them. Instead, she pointed to language that would allow the police chief discretion to keep officers who test positive for illegal drugs.
That to me was just a non-starter. I will not support any contract that includes that language. So to me, that's unacceptable.
Porter says she researches agenda items, going beyond city documents and speaking directly with those impacted by the proposals.
I often reach out to the communities affected, whether it's neighborhood groups, whether it's a special interest group, an advocacy group. Having those conversations to get more detail and context is really valuable.
Even when those votes put her in the minority, Porter says every issue has to pass her own personal community test.
I do my best to hold the city accountable, to hold myself accountable, so that I can say at the end of the day that I made the decision that I thought was best for this community.
Porter says even when her votes put her in the minority, she believes it's still her responsibility to question the details behind major decisions that impact the city of Tallahassee. In Tallahassee, Jayla Howard, your Fox 49 News.
City leaders say community feedback and public comment play a key role in shaping those decisions.
first warning weather.
I'll hand it over now to our very own Chief Meteorologist, Alan Strum. Now, Alan, what is this weekend looking like weather-wise?
Oh, Melanie, it's a good-looking weekend. Yeah, you've got to love a good weekend. And weather-wise, it will be great. Rain should be staying away from the area. Certainly, it's not here late tonight. We are all dry around the area. Nothing is shifting in this direction. Our temperatures, too, started to cool a little bit. So we're looking at temps running mainly between 60 and 65 right now. And I'd look for an overnight low of about 50 degrees here heading into tomorrow morning. And throughout the next couple of days, at times there may be a little bit of cloud cover in the skies, but we really should see dry weather. It's early in the week, kind of like late Sunday night into Monday, that we've got a chance for some rain. And I want to show you our futurecast as we detail that out hour by hour. We'll take a look at that coming up in a full report. But as for our temperatures, I mean, we're on the warm side here this weekend. Both tomorrow and Sunday, highs are going to be up in the low 80s.
Florida lawmakers have approved a new voter ID law that could change how people vote in future elections. The measure would require voters to show proof of U.S. citizenship when registering to vote. It also narrows down the types of IDs accepted at the polls. Supporters say the change strengthens election security, but critics warn it could make voting harder for some groups of people like low-income and elderly citizens. If Governor DeSantis signs the legislation, it would take effect in 2027. A Tallahassee man has pleaded guilty to gun charges related to a shootout in a park. In April of last year, court documents say while Joseph Williams was on bond for an unrelated crime, he was in a gunfight at Carter Howell Strong Park. During the shootout, Williams was shot in the foot and received medical attention at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. Officers say they found blood and a gun in the backseat of his girlfriend's car, which matched shell casings from the park shooting. Williams pleaded guilty to 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Sentencing is scheduled for May 28th, and he faces 15 years in prison. A stadium that's a place for more than Seminole football, how Doak Campbell Stadium is making its own mark.
You're watching your Fox 49 News at 10 with Melanie Levy and meteorologist Alan Strum.
Doak Campbell Stadium is an unforgettable sight in Tallahassee. The stadium is known for football games, but it's also becoming the place to be for more than just football. The stadium has hosted the Savannah Bananas baseball games, and this weekend, pro bull riders are in town. Fox 49's James Hill joining us now from the newsroom with more on the stadium and how it can accommodate different events in Tallahassee. Now, James, why is this football stadium such a unique venue?
Hi, Melanie. Doak Campbell Stadium leaders say they believe the stadium is a world-class experience that can accommodate a wide variety of events.
Managers call Doak Campbell Stadium the crown jewel of the athletic department on the campus of Florida State University. The Doak has always had a reputation for football, but nowadays this stadium hosts a wide variety of events. FSU athletic leaders explain recent improvements made all this possible.
Well, really, it's part of the renovation that we did most recently. You know, we just completed back in the fall about a $230 million renovation of Doak Campbell Stadium. And there was a number of reasons for that, for our football program, but also was just for the Tallahassee community. So part of that renovation was just some infrastructure that we put in place so that we could host these types of events. When you do this type of event and at the large scale that they have, you have to be able to get semi-trucks and large equipment onto the field.
Leon County leaders say Doak Campbell's versatility is good for the county. County Commission Chairman Christian Caban says tourism leaders spend a lot of time marketing the venue because of the money and jobs it brings in. He says, quote, It's clear that organizations from around the world are starting to recognize Leon County as a world-class destination for events. These opportunities don't happen by accident. They happen because of strong partnerships with a community that shows up. End quote.
After hosting football games, concerts, baseball, and now pro bull riding, many people in Tallahassee are wondering what they will enjoy next at the iconic Doak Campbell Stadium. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm James Hill with your Fox 49 News.
A festival that celebrates the rich history of the Woodville community. The 14th annual Woodville Founders Day is back. The event goes to support the Woodville Volunteer Fire Department. Attendees can expect live performances, food trucks, and cultural demonstrations. The family-friendly event will be held Saturday, March 21st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It'll take place at J. Lewis Hall Senior Woodville Park, and everyone is welcome to attend.
First warning weather. Here is Chief Meteorologist Alan Strunk.
It's Friday night. We've got a nice looking weekend ahead. The weather all dry around here. You can see that we've got some rain that shifted on down towards South Florida. A little bit there between Tampa and Miami is what we've been seeing. But that's not headed our way. And it looks like we'll end up with dry weather Saturday and Sunday. But our futurecast says look out for a little bit of cloud cover to spread around the Big Bend area and maybe up to Tallahassee as we take it through the day tomorrow. So we'll be watching for that. We'll call it a mix of sun and clouds. Overall, good looking weather here for tomorrow. And then ahead to Sunday, more sunshine here, but a few clouds as well, especially late in the day and into Sunday night. And then here we go overnight into Monday morning. So this is 1 o'clock in the morning Monday, after midnight Sunday night. We've got a chance for some rain, maybe even a thunderstorm or two to pop up and fly through the area here. That's going to be during the overnight hours. Then it gets a little more active as we head toward Monday morning. We've got another weather maker, a big time front that's going to shift down this direction, and it's going to bring us some colder air too. But you see just basically scattered showers and thunderstorms here, 6 a.m. on Monday. So, it could be heavy rain at times there. There's 8 o'clock in the morning. And then as we take it toward the late morning hours, we'll start to see that move out. So that'll be moving on. The front will move through, and then that cold air starts to move in. So that's Monday, 11 a.m. There goes the rain, and here comes the cold air during the day, Monday and into Monday night. But right now, not bad. I mean, temperatures are running between 60 and 65 degrees. And as we head through the overnight hours, we'll see a low of about 50, maybe some low 50s for some spots. Pretty clear in the skies here overnight. And then tomorrow we'll start with sunshine. Just might see some clouds as we head through the day. Look for that. And the high temperature will go about 81 degrees tomorrow for a high. So pretty good looking weather. I mean, a little bit on the warm side, no doubt about that. But here's a look ahead into next week. So we're going to go high rain chance here on Monday. That's going to be mainly during the first half of the day, maybe even some of it or much of it before the sun comes up. And then it cools during the day. So we go from like low 80s here to a high in the low 70s on Monday. And then Monday night into Tuesday morning, we're talking temperatures down in the 30s, some mid 30s here for a couple of nights, Monday night, Tuesday night as well. So mid 30s. I mean, we might see a light freeze for some spots too, so I'd be ready for that. Of course, around here though, it's that time of the year where we do rebound and temperatures warm back up, and that'll happen as we head through the week.
The Werner Hyundai Tallahassee 500 is back and bigger than ever. Rebates up to $15,000. Rates as low as 0%. No payments for up to 6 months. Werner Hyundai is the #1 volume Hyundai dealer in Tallahassee year after year. Drive the brand new Hyundai Elantra for $219 a month or Tucson for $289 a month. Nobody beats a Werner Hyundai deal. Nobody. It's the Werner Hyundai Tallahassee 500. Come visit us at wernerhyundai.com.
Stay connected with us wherever you are. Head to fox49.tv for the latest local news, breaking updates, and stories that matter to you. And we want you to join the conversation on our Facebook page. Just search Fox Tallahassee. Like, follow, and engage with us every day, no matter where you are. A judge making a ruling regarding media limits in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Why the defense believes media coverage can influence the future jurors. Coming up. A Utah judge has denied some efforts to limit media access in the case against Tyler Robinson. That's the man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Robinson's attorneys argued that extensive media coverage could influence a future jury, asking to keep certain filings private and restrict cameras in the courtroom. The judge said the defense did not prove why the documents should remain sealed, emphasizing the public's right to know. The court may still close portions of an upcoming hearing in April as prosecutors pursue the death penalty in this case. The Department of Homeland Security remains shut down after an attack on a synagogue in Michigan. Senate Democrats blocked a measure yesterday to advance a funding bill. It's the fourth time Democrats have blocked the legislation. To spur action, President Trump is warning of potential terrorist attacks in the U.S. if the department is not funded. Investigators alleged the suspect in the Michigan incident was armed with a rifle when security guards shot and killed him. He was a U.S. citizen from Lebanon, where reports say members of his family were recently killed in an Israeli missile strike against Hezbollah. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
Enjoy the weekend weather. We've got a mix of sun and clouds, it looks like, through the weekend. Should be dry weather. It is Monday, an early Monday, that we're expecting some rain, maybe some showers and thunderstorms. And that's a pretty strong cold front, too. So next week, we have some overnight lows that are going to be down in the 30s.
Oh, don't tell me that. Yeah. No. Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please come back and join us Monday on Fox 49 News at 10.